I know this is a different background. It's because I'm sitting on my floor in my living room, and I usually film there where you can see like kind of like the couch behind me and like the built-in and whatever. That is covered in clothes right now because I'm packing and I took a break to film this for you before I leave. So you're welcome. I know I sort of left you hanging with the how to practice video, so this is the second installment. In my last video, I gave you sort of a brief introduction on how to practice. This video is going to be on how to learn fast music fast-er. Quickly, learn fast music as fast as quickly. The most effective way to practice fast just like you can't cram for a test the night before, you can't cram for technique. You need to give it the amount of time that it needs to develop. Because what we're doing is like I've said before, we're teaching our body to do little tiny micro movements, and that takes a lot of time to develop. So this is specifically talking about really fast music. A lot of what I wanted to do in this video was going to be playing for you, but I can't really play my clarinet right now because my sinuses are killing me, so I'm just going to be talking about it, and hopefully you'll be able to understand what I'm saying when I talk about this. Where the hell is Stravinsky? If you have a really technically challenging piece of music, you have to figure out what it is that makes it difficult. Is it really rhythmic? Is it really fast? Does it have random 16-note patterns that aren't really chromatic scales, but they're not really scales either? It just seems like a random smattering of notes. Are the notes really high? Are the notes really low? So you want to like identify what makes it hard to play. I'm going to give you a couple of examples just based on music that I've had to learn. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is rhythm and how to dissect rhythms. Let's talk about Stravinsky. Alright. So when you have something that looks like this, you will need to go in and really dissect the rhythm. The point that I'm trying to make is that you don't want to just start at the beginning and just go like, because you're not retaining anything. You need to know exactly what rhythms you're playing. So 6/8, you know that there are 6/8 notes in each measure, and you know that it's felt in 2. I hope this is not new. You see they're beamed in 3s, so 1, 2, 3. So you know that each one of those is going to be an 8th note, because no matter what time signature you're in, an 8th note is equal to 2 16th notes, which is equal to 4 30-second notes. So you basically just have to like go in and really just dissect the rhythm. So if you're in 3 and your beat is here, it's 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a. That's what this is. And if you're in 2, it's but you need to know what it sounds like in slow motion before you get it, you know, dotted quarter equals 76. So it's about slowing things down and dissecting the rhythm, and that is just one example, which leads me to my other point that I was going to make. The main point of learning fast music really fast is actually super counterintuitive, because in order to learn music really fast, you have to start at a glacial pace so that you can actually learn all the notes and rhythms accurately. Blasting through a piece of music with 50% of an idea of what you're supposed to be doing or what it's supposed to sound like is not practicing. Practicing is going through very methodically and very slowly, really just ripping things apart, ripping rhythms apart, ripping passages apart, because you want to be 100% accurate from the get-go. Otherwise, you have to relearn notes and rhythms that you get wrong. So, glacial pace is first and foremost where you want to start. Alright, now that I've covered that, let's talk about really fast 16th notes. Let's see who writes a lot of 16th notes. Ravel. Daphnis and Chloe. Sorry, I literally turned the page and just saw this. It's the stuff that's made of nightmares. For anybody wondering, the book that I am giving you examples out of is called The Working Clarinetist. This is sort of like the orchestral excerpt Bible if you want to become a professional musician. It gives you the excerpt and then it talks about it. So if you're looking for a really good book, this is a staple, which is why mine is in really rough shape, because I've had it since I was, I've had it for over 10 years. If you have a passage like this, just like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and I know it's technically starts on 2 and it's in 5/4, but it's basically 1, 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 5E and a is how you would count it. You don't want to just like blast through this section because it's not exactly chromatic. The notes move unpredictably, and that's what makes it really hard. Or whether it's really high in the stratosphere, like this, you have to figure out what these notes are and the fingerings and how to play them. Up here, you need to figure out if you need to use... Up here, I have little X's marked where the chromatic fingerings are used, or like left-right for like those pinky keys. So like you need to sort of go through and figure it out first. And then when you're practicing 16th notes, it's not just going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a over and over and over and over again. I made diagrams since I can't play my clarinet for you. That's how dedicated I am. So, we're talking about a rhythm. We were talking about 16 notes. Let's just say you have a passage that's 8 16th notes long, and it's really, really, really hard. So let's just say you go through it and you practice these 8 notes. You figure out if there are any weird fingerings you need to use. You figure out if, you just figure out sort of what the notes are very slowly, and you can like play through it as like quarter notes, let's just say. So we need to get this really fast, and that is our goal. So you're going to actually practice a completely different rhythm. Dotted. This would be the first beat of the 16th notes. This would be the second beat of the 16th notes. I wrote them out in dotted quarter form so that it would be easier to read. So your original rhythm of 1E and a 2E and a now just becomes 1, a 2, a 1, a 2. Explaining rhythms is really difficult, and I did not prepare for this at all. But I think you know what I'm talking about. So if we go back to the music, instead of going da 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 da, you're gonna practice da 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 da. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Your teachers have probably gone over this. So once you practice it this way, you're gonna want to practice it the reverse. Da 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 da. So instead of going da 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 da, you're gonna go da 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 da. I hope that makes sense. It's a lot harder to do it this way with a short note in the front than it is with the longer note in the front. You've practiced essentially the entire thing, just elongating one note at a time. If anybody has a better way of explaining this, just comment below and just alternate the rhythms and the 16th notes will be even. If you want to go even further, you can try triplets. Either ba ba da 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 or triplet bomb, triplet bomb. So instead of going instead of going 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a, the rhythm's gonna sound like da 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 da, and then you go back and go da 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 da. And the dotted rhythms that we talked about, you're going da 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 da, or you're going da 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 da. So those are 4 examples of different alternate rhythms you can use. And then after you've practiced all those different rhythms, then try playing it straight, just da 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 da, and you will see that it is already even. But the key is to slow all of those really down, because the reason why we're dotting the rhythms and elongating some notes and shortening other ones is because you're still practicing 16th notes. Let's just take a look at the first beat last time. So we have A, B flat, G sharp, A. So when we do ba ba da ba da, we're doing A, and then B flat to G sharp is the span of a 16th note, but we hold the G sharp. So bum ba-dum. So this ba-dum, you're practicing with 2 longer notes on each side. So you're practicing basically like a portion. So when you go da-da, da-da, you're practicing the A to the B flat, and that's a 16th note. And you're holding the B flat. So the da-da is the same as da-da-da-da-da, but it's just, you know, it's got these little anchor points along the way so that you don't freak yourself out just trying to go, you've got the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So every interval in these alternate rhythms gets practiced as if they were straight 16th notes. You just have little anchor points along the way to make it sort of a little more manageable because you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. So that's the best way that I probably over-explained it, but I'd rather over-explain it than under-explain it and have you not know what I'm talking about. This is such a horrible video. I'm so sorry. Okay, moving on. I actually kind of like this. This is fun. So, going back to our Ravel excerpt, we have, if you can't play this, try playing it at quarter notes. Da, 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 da. Honestly, if that's as slow as you need to go to be able to play all the right notes correctly, then that's fine. And you want to play the G sharp to A without any like finger blubs in there, because sometimes it's hard to get the G sharp key back up to get the A. Clarinets, you know what I'm talking about. And you also need to take into consideration that it starts at piano. And it gets louder throughout this entire thing. So you need to take into account everything. So in order to play everything perfectly, you need to start super, super slow, even if you're starting at quarter notes, and then move up to 8th notes, and then go on to 16th notes, and then alternate the rhythms. And, you know, like, I think you can see what I'm getting to here. So once I've sort of, like, played around with alternating rhythms, and I'm feeling pretty confident with the notes, then it's time to start getting the music actually physically faster. Set your chord note to 60 once you get it up to 16th notes. Dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 da. And you want to play it 5 times at that tempo. Then move it up 3 clicks. So you're at chord note equals 63 now. Play it once. Then go back 2 clicks. So now you're back to 61. Play it 5 times. And there's going to be a pattern here. So you play it 5 times at one tempo. Move it up 3 clicks. Play it once. Move it down 2 clicks. Play it 5 more times. And then when you've played it 5 times at chord note equals 61, move it up 3 clicks. So now you're at chord note equals 64. Play it once. Go back 2 clicks. So now you're at chord note equals 62. So you're playing it at literally every interval between 60 and 70 so that it's gradually getting faster and faster and faster, but you don't notice it as much because you're playing everything so repetitively at such a small increment, at such a small metronomical, is that a word? Metronome increment on the metronome. I'm never filming a video sick again. So this is an example of moving at a glacial pace where you're just spending a ton of time with the really fast notes at a really slow pace so that your fingers and your technique just gets solidified. So hopefully that makes sense. That's like kind of an example of how I learn really fast music is I take the first few days and I just really lay down a solid foundation so that when I do get faster and faster, when it starts to really take off, I have a strong foundation, and I know all the notes, and I know all the rhythms, and I know all the fingerings, and all the dynamics, and all the air that I'm going to need to get through the entire piece. I promise you, it is worth it to start really slow, otherwise you're going to have to relearn music, and there is nothing worse than relearning music, because if you have to go back because you learned the wrong notes, you're basically starting from scratch. And all of that practicing that you did up until the point where you realized you were playing wrong notes is for nothing. You have to practice every day. You do. You really do. If you need to learn a piece of music that's really fast, that's really hard for you, you need to start really slow, and you need to be doing this every single day. Practicing every single day, because, and I've said this multiple times in multiple ways, but when we go to sleep, our brain does this really amazing thing where it goes over everything that it's learned for the entire day. So by getting a good night's sleep, that's technically part of your practicing, because that's where everything sort of gets learned. And like if you're studying for a test too, like cramming doesn't work because you're cramming everything in the night before, but if you start like a couple weeks in advance and you just look over your notes every night, like that information gets stored up here, and then when you go to look at it the next night, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember all of these dates and all of these important things that happened in math. So it can seem overwhelming the first day you get handed a really hard piece of music, but trust me, spend like a week practicing every single day, only focusing on those really hard parts, and a week from the day that you start, you will notice immediately how much better your playing is. So practice every day, start at a glacial pace, dissect rhythms, notes, and fingerings, get a good night's sleep, alternate rhythms. I hope this helps. I'm sorry that it's been sort of all over the place. I've had a lot of gigs, I've been kind of sick, and I'm going away really soon. So I wanted to at least give you this nugget of information before I'm on the road for a little while. I kind of want to do a video on how to practice without the instrument, but it's a lot like my what to do when you're really sick and can't play your instrument, which is kind of the position that I'm currently in. So I'll link my other video on like what to do when you're too sick to practice if you need help with that, but I'll probably do a more formal video on it at a later date. But anyway, here's your nugget of information, so just do it.